Welcome to Keep Thinking. I'm your host, Josh Grover, and today we're talking about top tips in networking with networking guru Jim White. Dr. White, for the past 30 years, has had a career in business-to-business marketing and sales. On average, each month, he'll do 25 to 30 networking events. Dr. White, it's a pleasure to have you on Keep Thinking.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the invitation.
Absolutely. What would you say are the top 3 tips for networking?
Well, when you're doing networking, the thing you have to remember is that if you're heading into a networking event, you got to have a passion for, what 2 cool people am I going to be able to introduce to each other tonight? How can I give, not how I can take? Number 2, you have to be consistent. The reason I did so many networking events was because I wanted to raise my profile so that folks were used to seeing me, so that I would be able to, again, raise my profile so I would get a chance to meet more and more people. And number 3, you got to discriminate. I know that's a crazy word, but it works here. The reason you got to discriminate is I was in B2B, business-to-business sales, so that was my world. And I was really good at it. But I didn't do anything in the B2C world, business to consumer. So when I was going to my networking events, I was specifically targeting only the people that would be attending would be B2B. And they do break down pretty easily. In fact, some of my friends who were in the B2C world, our running joke was, well, if I see you at a network, either I'm at the wrong event or you are. You don't really know. And then the last one is life's too short to work with grumpy people. So that would be my 3rd rule with networking, is that I don't work with grumpy people. I don't work with people that, I wouldn't network with people that if they were walking with their dog at 3 o'clock in the evening and nobody watching, they don't pick up after their dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just, you want to work with good people.
Yeah.
And you can be picky that way.
Yeah. What would you say is the ultimate goal or objective with networking?
Well, with networking is, I think Zig Ziglar said it best, and he's a fine Christian man, a businessman, a salesperson, a networker extraordinaire. And he said, in order for me to get what I want, I have to help people get what they need. And I think that that's very powerful, that if you're networking, if you just keep that thing in mind, that you always want to be giving, then your networking and your sales effort, all that will just take care of itself.
How would you say with networking, how do you not use people and then just like discard them, so to speak?
Yeah, networkers don't work that way. Yes, are there people that do that kind of silliness? Yes. But what happens is it's pretty apparent. Like, for example, a great example here is if you get an invitation from LinkedIn and you click yes to it, and I'll say yes to a lot of people on LinkedIn now that I'm a college professor, because it might be somebody that I can help. It's a younger one. And then 3 seconds after you say yes, they hit you with a pitch email. Number 1, don't do that ever. Where are you guys? Camera, no, stop. But don't do that. Well, they're a taker. So, I used to, in my business world, I would just go back and delete them. Yeah. Now I send them an email and go, this is wrong, guys. But I'll give you 30 minutes of my time and I'll explain to you why, but I'm definitely not buying any of your stuff. You know what's really interesting about it is that I'll do that to the pitch guys, and only 1 out of 10 will take me up on it. But at least I give a chance to educate them.
Yes. As a Christian, how do you allow your biblical principles to influence the way that you network with other people?
Well, the big rule is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's important. But that's not hard, and a lot of non-Christians kind of follow that. There are lots of good people that are going to hell. We know how that works, sadly. But the other part is, I found it interesting that you have to decide as a business person whether you're going to own it, being a Christian, or whether you're going to try to keep it under a bushel. And for me, I made the decision to say, yeah, I'll own the fact I'm a Christian. You're not going to see me standing at a place drinking a beer or something. But by the same token, if you choose to be a Christian business person and salesperson, then you got to realize that you only get 1 strike. You don't get 3. You got to be on all the time, because the people are going to be looking around, and lots of people will claim to be Christian, but only when it's convenient. And people see that and they don't like it. So all they're looking for you is to be off just a little bit one time. They can go, see, Jim's just like the other guys. Yeah. So that's the one thing you got to be careful of. The cool part is that if you are doing it in the Christian world, you really get a chance to get to know other Christians, and you have these little code words where you can share back and forth. So when I'm doing an introduction to two people, I can say, hey, this is the way you want to do it. Here's a Christian brother, Mark McClatchy, and I want to introduce you to them, and then you can sort of let them know. Also, I did want to say with LinkedIn or anything else that you do, networking, it's important to remember that the goal in a networking event is to meet as many people as you can. You're not going to have a 30-minute conversation. You should have a minute and a half and then move on. Your goal is to meet people that might make sense for you, and then you schedule those one-to-one meetings, generally over virtual coffee these days, or whatever you can, to just share what your background is, what the other person's background, and how you might be able to help each other. That's the power of networking, is those 30-minute meetings, and that's where you make and meet some of the best friends that you'll ever meet. It's really great.
That's great. How can people find more about you and what you do?
I am on LinkedIn. It's Jim White, PhD. You can find me. I'm linked to you, so I'm only one click away from you on LinkedIn. So anyone wants to connect, I'd love to have a chance to meet new people.
That's great. Thank you for joining us today on Keep Thinking.
Tremendous. Thank you very much for the opportunity.